guys, I am just so happy right now. Honestly, can I just talk about that for a minute? So I'm happy because A, I got Starbucks, and honestly, I'm not one to celebrate Christmas before Thanksgiving. I know, come at me if you are. I try not to get too hyped in the Christmas spirit before Thanksgiving because I'm like, well, I like Thanksgiving and I want to be able to put all of my efforts in to Christmas when it's like Christmas time. But I love that Starbucks has Christmas kind of themed Merry coffee. This just made my day. So then I got a peppermint mocha, which gave me kind of a little glimpse of Christmas. And then it was snowing today. So that gave me even more of a glimpse of Christmas. And I low-key am loving that. I mean, it wasn't that fun to drive in, but... And then I got to go to Target. Being here, it's nice to get out to go to Target, but at the same time, like, a lot of times when I go to Target, I'm alone. So then I'm, like, lonely. You know, I feel like I just live alone, which I feel like in like 10 years from now when I'm married and I have kids, I'm gonna be like, Target by myself sounds like amazing. But right now, you know. Now he calls me.
Hey.
I'm in the middle of filming a video right now.
Hi, camera. Alright, I love you.
I love you too. Goodbye. He's so cute. Anyway, where were we? Okay, well... After that long intro, which half of you probably skipped through, whatever. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some eyeshadow palettes that I've recently launched and reasons why I haven't been buying them. And you guys, I actually haven't bought like an eyeshadow palette, I haven't bought an eyeshadow palette in a long time, but especially high-end, I haven't gotten a new one of those in a while. If you're seeing this and you clicked on the thumbnail, you're going to realize that most of these are collabs, and I think the only reason why I picked these ones is because these ones stood out to me because they are like really popular right now. And if you notice, I haven't bought any collab palettes recently. I'm going to go through a list of palettes and then I'll explain kind of why I haven't bought it, or not all of these I'm not necessarily not going to buy. There's a couple that I'm like, maybe I will eventually. I haven't bought them so far. So I just kind of want to explain and kind of just talk about some like collabs. I feel like I just haven't talked about makeup in a while, just like new releases. So if you are like me and you don't really want to get into the whole beauty guru new makeup release hype, then I think this video is for you. I also got this video idea from Kelly Gooch. I just watched her video, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. And hers was like new eyeshadow palette she's glad she skipped out on. And that's kind of where I got this idea. I haven't really like fully skipped out on all these, but anyway, I'll link her video down below. I really like her. And also, there's a couple palettes in here that I just wanted to mention that I'm not necessarily popular, but I just saw them pop up and I was like, you know, this is kind of interesting. I wanted to mention it. Anyway, let's get to it. First palette I have on my list is the Colourpop So Jaded palette. Maybe I'll scoot this way so you can... Now this is a collab with Kathleen Lights. Kathleen is kind of, I don't know if she's in a contract with Colourpop. She must be because she comes out with a lot of products with them. Actually, I really like Colourpop products. I do have an eyeshadow palette that I talk about all the time from them that I do use a lot. And I do really like it. It's good quality. I do think that they are upping the price of their eyeshadow palettes though, and I feel like it's kind of getting ridiculous. Like the little ones that I have, Double Enchantré or whatever it's called. I feel like it's now getting creeped up. They're like $16, $18, which I feel like that's creeping up a little bit because I consider Colourpop more of a drugstore brand, but it's kind of an in-between of drugstore and high-end. Anyway, this Colourpop and Kathleen Lights palette, I haven't fully like been like, no, I'm not buying it, but I've never been like, oh, I really want to go get it, you know? And I think part of it is, it's $39, but you do get a lot of shades. And it is a variety. You can do natural looks, but there's also a lot of colors. The shimmers look really pretty. And so I'm not like completely against this palette at all. I just haven't gotten out of my way to go get it. It's also kind of one of those things where I am a college kid, so I'm not going out and spending a lot of money on makeup right now anyway. But it is a very pretty palette, and it is one of the palettes in this like kind of collection that this video that I'm talking about that I am kind of like, I might possibly one day, but it's definitely not the top of my radar where I'm like, yes, I need to go get that and own it eventually. So that's the kind of reason why I'm like, probably not, but so far that's why I haven't gotten it. I think Colourpop has a great eyeshadow formula. They also come out with a lot of the palettes like the one that I have, that there's a lot of color schemes in those that I'm constantly seeing and it's like catching my eye. And there, of course, a lot of them are the neutral palettes, but I always like want to buy them and I think they're really pretty. So this actually is a good deal, 40 bucks for this, considering the other ones are like half that price and there's like a fourth of the shades in them, even less than that probably. So I don't think it's a bad price for it. It's just not something that I'm going to drop 40 bucks on right now. The next one the Tati Beauty palette. This palette is $48, which I think that is a killer price. The fact that she has it under the $50 mark, like think about it. It's the price of high-end eyeshadows, but you are getting so many in there and they're huge pans. I have not purchased this yet. And part of that is I just can't drop $48 on an eyeshadow palette right now. But I also think that this is a good price for a palette. You know, she could have easily came out with this palette for 60 to 80 bucks. I feel like the quality is good enough for that. I feel like that's even Natasha Denona quality from what I've seen in reviews. And also, she would not come out with something that's not good quality. So that's the reason why I'm like, this is definitely like a great price, like in the $40 range. Now, I have talked to some people, even one of my friends that's really into makeup, and she is a little bit disappointed because of the color scheme. They're all like the same color, but they're just in different formulas. And I could see that. I'm like, well, you are buying kind of like a palette with the same 6 colors, but just in different formulas. But when I first saw this, I loved it because I thought the color scheme was great. You have a bunch of different tones to get so many different looks. The only one that I don't really like is the sequin line. I've never been about matte shadows with shimmer in them. I've never liked that. So that's the only row that I've kind of been like, meh. I've never understood that. I've talked about that before on my channel. I don't get why they put glitters in mattes shadows. I don't understand. The part that I absolutely love is the glitter row. That's what's really bringing me in. And I don't own a lot of glitters, and a lot of people are like, will you really wear glitters on an everyday basis? Yes. Today, this is a very shimmery eyeshadow, but I would totally, like, if I had a glitter from that palette, I totally would have popped it on top. I don't wear eyeshadow on an everyday basis, but when I do, I'd like to have glitter and sparkle. Like, my shimmer shadows are not these weak shimmers. You guys, this had caffeine, and I am just bouncing off the walls. Honestly, I will probably own that palette eventually. I'll probably ask for it for Christmas, and maybe I'll get it then, but I know that she's kind of on pre-order and everything, so maybe I'll just wait till the hype kind of dies down and then I'll purchase it, because everybody's talking about it and doing videos on it. Not everybody, but a lot of, especially the bigger YouTubers, especially if they were sent it. So this is another palette that I probably will eventually own, more likely than like the Colourpop one, but I think a lot of people think it's boring, but for me, I love a good neutrals palette. And yes, I probably have all of these shades in a bunch of different palettes, but the fact that this has literally everything in one is what I love the most. Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star collection. So they have the Conspiracy palette, which is the bigger one, and then they have the Mini Controversy palette, which is the small one. I will never own this. And the reason is, I think the series that they've done on Shane's channel is amazing. Like, the only reason why I've ever watched Shane is when he does stuff with Jeffree Star. And at first I used to not really care for Jeffree, but I think out of all the bigger YouTubers, I like him more than anybody else. When I buy something like this, I would not have an issue like supporting either of those people. That's not the reason why I'm not buying it. The reason why I'm not buying it is this color scheme doesn't speak to me. I think it's perfect and it fits Shane and his personality, but this, I just wouldn't get enough use out of it. It's $52 for the big one and $28 for the small one. And I just think that's just kind of a waste of money for me if I wouldn't use those shades. The first row, yes, maybe. But like the second row and the third row, I'm not really one to branch out. Unless I'm just filming or doing something fun, I'm not going to wear those. And I just feel like it's just kind of a waste of money. I think it's a really cool thing. I think a lot of people buy it just because it's a collab and to support, which I 100% get. And honestly, if the shadows were a little bit more my style, I probably might have. And it's also $52. And then the smaller one, I don't like the color scheme of that either. I don't get why they have like 2 blues. That kind of throws me off. I don't understand that at all. The smaller one, even still, I feel like I would wear some more of those shades maybe, but the blues and the purple and the light blush pink, and then once you kind of look at it and after there's at least 3, 4, 5 shades that you're not going to wear, then I'm like, well, what's the point, you know? So congrats to those, to Shane and all that. I've been loving watching the series, but that's just the only reason why I haven't purchased it, and it's constantly sold out. That's not to say though that I won't own a Jeffree Star product. I want the Thirsty palette so bad. I have been eyeing that up forever, and I know it's been out for a long time, but that palette I've really liked. I should ask for that one for Christmas too. I remember when Emma and I went to the Morphe store back in January. No, it was December. It was right after Christmas last year. We did a vlog. I'll link that down below. And I even talked about how I liked the Thirsty palette then. So it's been like a year. Okay, another influencer collab. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Carli Bybel palette. So First of all, I don't like the color scheme of this at all. Sorry if I am offending anybody with this, but those colors do not speak to me. I mean, I suppose once I watched a video of people actually swatching them and using them, and they broke it down. I don't even know what video. I've just seen this pop up in many videos. I suppose I could see how it could be an everyday palette, but like kind of once I look at all these pastel colors, like the bluish, the purple, I don't know, the really like kind of brown gold in the bottom right corner. I like shimmers and fun, but like after I kind of like break it down, there's so many shades that I wouldn't really wear, and this is not a palette when I look at it that I'm like, oh my gosh, I want this, I'm drawn to it. It doesn't speak to me at all. So that's the reason why it's $42. Honestly, I haven't tried a newer Anastasia palettes. I own the Modern Renaissance. I've had it for a few years now. Mine's probably getting to the time where I should get rid of it, because a lot of times their palettes say they expire in 6 months. But once I watched Jessica Braun's video when she did an anti-haul, or will I buy it? I don't know, a few weeks ago, maybe probably over a month ago now, she mentioned the circles on the front of the palette, and I've never really had an issue with that. There's like a phobia of it. I can't remember what it's called, but after she talked about that, every time I see the palette, I think about that, and I don't have a phobia of it, but like just looking at it, I'm like, ugh, like I don't like it either. I don't know what it is. I just like, whenever, I don't like the packaging either. After she said that, Jessica, I'm blaming you. I won't spend 45 bucks on that. I'd rather spend $48 on the Tati Beauty palette. Maybe I'll break it up and then I'll go back to another influencer palette. So the Too Faced, this one's limited edition, the Gingerbread Extra Spicy eyeshadow palette. I've never bought the Too Faced gingerbread palettes. They've had like the, I don't even know how many. They've had the spicy, extra spicy, the regular. They have like so many palettes. Every year I swear they come out with a new gingerbread palette. I just never purchased them. First of all, I'm not one to be obsessed with warm tone shadows. I definitely like more of a cool tone shadow. That Makeup Revolution Reloaded palette that I have, I'll pop a picture up right here. This speaks to me because it's all cool tones. It's beautiful. I like the lighter shimmer. I'll wear pinks on my eyes, stuff like that. The warm tones, not so much. The reason I'm looking over here is because my computer's here, if I didn't make that clear already. Also, it's $49. I do own the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I own the Too Faced Sweet Peach. I don't reach for them. I used to. I got them probably freak. It's probably going to be I think I got them for my 15th birthday. My birthday's in April, and I turned 19 in April. So I got them like 3.5 years ago, and I did reach for them a lot, and I thought they were good beginner palettes, but I think eyeshadow formulas have been just stepping up their game so much in the last few years that I'm like, I don't think it's worth $49. Same with the Naked palettes. I've always said that. I don't think it's really worth the $50 mark, $52, $54, how much it is. I don't mind Too Faced shadows. I think they're fine and good. That's just kind of why I'm not trying to hate on these brands. I do like their eyeshadows, but I just don't reach for them. Like my Too Faced palettes, I could get rid of both of them. I've kind of slowly noticed, especially as the years have gone on, which I probably should just pass them on because I'm not using them and they're getting older, and I think my friends could use them before they fully expire, you know, even though I probably shouldn't be giving them 4-year-old eyeshadow palettes, but half of them don't care. They would just be like, oh my gosh, yeah. Another one is the Colourpop Disney collection. A lot of people are obsessed with Disney. I'm not one to be super obsessed, although my nanny girls yesterday were watching The Little Mermaid, but like the live kind of performance of it, I don't know where it was on Netflix or if it was where it was on, but that made me kind of like want to rewatch The Little Mermaid. Although I think I was terrified of like Ursula and The Little Mermaid, because honestly watching back, it kind of like gave me a little anxiety. I was like, no, don't let that happen. Seriously, I have issues. I think I was never really a big Disney girl. Like I did watch them. I've seen a lot of the old Disney classic movies. We have them in VCR at my house. So I've never been a big Disney person. I've been to Disney World once. Is it only once? Yeah, once. When I was in 3rd grade in Florida, but I never went to Disneyland in California. But I've never been one that's been obsessed with Disney like a lot of people that I watch on YouTube, so this just doesn't speak to me. The colors are pretty, but I wouldn't ever go out of my way to purchase something just because it's Disney edition. It's 22 bucks, but I think it's really cool how they do that. Let's get into more controversy, and I'm gonna be brutally honest. Morphe James Charles mini palette. Can I just say, I'm just over this James Charles shit. Like, I am so over it. I am so over it. When his big palette first came out, I was like really tempted to buy it. And that was like during the December when I did that MOA vlog last year. We were looking for it. It was like sold out. My friend Emma eventually got it. And then I remember like my boyfriend Isaac's sister, Bella, we were talking about it for a while and she finally got it. She went to the James Charles thing last year in Thanksgiving or November time during like when he came to Mall of America and everything. I wanted it, and then after all that Tati and James Charles crap went down last year, I stay out of drama, but I like to watch it from afar because I think it's just comical, because I'm like, this is stupid makeup. Honestly, really, people need to freaking grow up on the internet. But yeah, I kind of lost respect for him. He is like my age. He's only like a year or two older than me, but I think, maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I shouldn't get myself in a deep hole. I think he's kind of childish. So I don't really feel the need to support him. This is one reason why I'm not buying this palette, is because I do not want to support him. Yes, I know he's getting so much money, but I don't think I need to waste my money on supporting him with this. This mini palette is $26. I think they're the same. It's just a mini version. There's benefits to it. I think I have tried the quality. My friend Emma owns the palette. I've tried it, used it. It's good quality. It's fine. But it's more the fact that I don't really want to support him. So yeah, that's why I'm not purchasing that one. Won't ever own the full size. I have these colors in other palettes, and personally, I know Morphe's like a huge drama thing, but Morphe's a brand that I go back and forth with, because every time I go to the Morphe store, like at the Mall of America, they're so nice. They've been so nice and just like supportive, and I like love it. It's also such a huge controversy with all the YouTubers they're constantly collabing with, so I don't know. It's just kind of like this whole like, it gives me a headache to think about it. I do like the Jack on Hill palette. I do have another newer one. I can't remember what it was. Isaac got it for me. That's a really pretty palette too, and I like that. The quality is good. So their quality I think is okay, and not better than okay. I think their quality is good, but also it's just one of those brands that it's like I have a hard time supporting and spending my money on, so I don't know. Okay, the last thing I want to mention, which I know this isn't like really that popular of a thing, but it's this brand Beauty Gems at Ulta, which if you guys have tried this, let me know how they are. I'm kind of curious at the quality. Everyday Essentials eyeshadow palette and Eyeshadow Obsession palette. But the reason why these like are weird to me is the shape. This shape kind of stresses me out. I don't like the shapes of them. I know it's kind of unique, but it kind of like, they're not all even. It's almost like hard to see what colors are in the palette and like what color you want to use. A lot of them look the same, especially in the Everyday Essentials. They're cheap, $7.99 and then $9.99. But have you guys tried the quality of them? I've never heard of this brand. I kind of see around once in a while. I've never tried it or anything, never heard much about it. I'm not trying to hate on the brand, but it's just the shape of the palettes that I'm like, what in the world? Have you guys tried it? That's the only reason why I wanted to mention it. I'm all over the place. I'm so hyper. I have so much caffeine. Well, just this, and I drink caffeine every day, but for some reason I feel really hyper right now. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on these palettes and products that I talked about. What other new eyeshadow palettes have recently launched, whether they're influencer collabs, whatever, that are popular. Are you buying them? Are you not buying them? Why or why not? Let me know. Let's start a conversation. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you're new. I would love to have you stick around. I'll see you guys in my next video. I don't know what this is doing. Okay, bye guys.